everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Yeah, my office today is just in my backyard, or anyways, in my home. We just celebrated Patriot Day. Patriot Day, and that's one of those days. Well, Patriot Day is named after September 11th events that happened over 21 years ago, right now, where a lot of innocent men and women from all nations around the world died. And our Twin Towers in New York City, and obviously the Pentagon got hit, and many other things have happened that try to destroy the American way of life and anyone who believes in a strong democracy. And it brought a lot of us together, brought the world together way back then. And then something happened. Something didn't click or jive right. And then we started bowing down to everyone who caused us pain to begin with. Anyways, my name is Joseph Skoda, and you can see my shirt, retired, and that's an Air Force emblem on there right now. Retired from the Air Force. I happen to have been stationed in Saudi Arabia at the time of 9/11, and I remember it well. And you probably remember it well also, wherever you were at the moment. Like a lot of us can remember John F. Kennedy when he got shot, or Ronald Reagan, or Nelson Mandela, and so many other things. The Queen Elizabeth that just passed away a couple of days ago. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that we're going to remember. There's always be something that triggers us also, that causes a little bit of pain or anger or resentment, maybe resentment towards different kinds of people or nations. And rightfully so. For the COVID, for instance, I'm not going to say, and we all know it was started in China in a lab, and those kinds of things. And most of our diseases have back then. And I'm not dissing China. I've got some Chinese friends, but the communist way of life, and some of their beliefs and how they want to impose it on the rest of the world. Yeah, that's kind of a slap in the face, especially where our United States government allows so many goods from China and Taiwan and other communist nations to impose on American goods, on American soil, on American military bases. I know firsthand, we have a lot of souvenirs, Air Force keychains and Army stickers, and even clothing made in China on our military installations, not just overseas, but here in the good US of A. It's so sad. Anyways, I'm not trying to point fingers, but when we come together as a society, we're trying to promote democracy around the world, which is basically giving people rights. And certain countries take away the human rights of a lot of their citizens, and they run everything and don't even allow citizens to own things or vote in some cases. We're kind of fighting against that. And when the fighting gets real, when there's actual death happening, and lives being destroyed and families being torn apart, we have to take those things seriously. And when we say we're going to do something, and later on we're kind of wishy-washy on the way we diplomacy and try to make things happen, it's really scary. It's not fair, and we're not showing strength when we just bow down and say, "Oh, we're sorry." And when we're talking about 9/11, there's certain things that happen, and years later we kind of bow down and say, "Well, we telling us we can't talk to different people because they could be sensitive to that." That bothers me a lot. Oh, they may be sensitive if you say this and that, and I'm being sensitive because I'm not trying to push anyone away. Like I said, I have friends all around the world, thanks to being stationed all around the world, thanks to being a Toastmaster, thanks to being at different conventions and a vacation club where I've traveled all over the world. And it's our governments that sometimes want to cause the problems. And more often than not, the citizens don't have a clue what's going on. They just know they're either loved or they're hated. And in between is really hard to figure out. I have this hat here. And like I said, I did 21 years in the Air Force. But look at this hat. It says third, third, anyways, every way I point my finger, third EMS. Now, EMS stands for Equipment Maintenance Squadron. This is my very first hat given to me at my first duty station. Can you guess where? Clark Air Base, Philippines. It was Clark Air Force Base and even Army Base before that. But when I was there in the 80s, it was Clark Air Base, Philippines. My favorite duty station ever, my experience into adulthood, because I was 18 years old when I got sent there. And it was exciting because I'm from Ohio. And I begged, please send me west, because I never been out west. I don't think I ever been past Illinois at that point, or Michigan, whatever the state was next to us. In Pennsylvania, side, just send me out west. I love to visit California or somewhere out west. They sent me so far out west. I was in the Far East. And even though I was scared to go, I'm a young whippersnapper and didn't know what the world really was about, even though, 18, 19 years old, we know everything. I didn't know. We don't know what we don't know. And I found out what real friendships were about with different nations. I found out what they care about. I found out some of the concerns because being the superpower and being American in a lot of cases and traveling to other countries where we think we're better, sometimes we can become a little arrogant. And I've seen that time and time again, especially when I was stationed in Okinawa. The Marines, sorry guys, were very arrogant and showing out how tough they were on the streets of Okinawa in Japan. We get that way. We become knuckleheads, and sometimes we push it a little too far. Life's a gamble. Jack of Spades or Queen of Hearts or whatever it is. Life is a gamble. We have to decide what battles we want to fight. With that being said, sometimes we choose the wrong battles. We want to fight with our parents when we're younger because we think we know it all. And we want to prove to them that we can do bigger and better than things that they ever done. Or, our teachers, oh, what do you know? I don't need to know that math or statistics. So how important is that? And we'll often forget about that. We become a little arrogant, a little cocky in a way where we're just going to take charge. It doesn't matter what you do or say. And hopefully, as you become an adult, not an old adult, hopefully you're still fairly young, you will seek advice from your parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles and find out a little bit about what they know. Now, understandably, I know a lot of people didn't have the best relationships with their family members or their parents, and that's sad. I had a really great relationship with my mom, and she passed away at 37, and that was a really sad time for me as well as everyone in the family. And my father, I was probably in my 30s before I figured out how smart he was. Just didn't know, didn't get it, didn't understand. I thought, today if he'd still be using a flip phone rather than a smartphone and things like that. But I remember, I'm sure a lot of you do, remote control for the TV. That was the, okay, kid, turn the channel, hold the rabbit ears. And those are things we fought for. And today we do have the smartphones and the smart TVs and the smart computers and cameras. And when we have someone else telling us how we're supposed to use them, or worse yet, and believe it or not, there are a lot of electronics made in countries, I'm not going to say which ones, that have different listening devices, maybe a camera that comes on and off unexpectedly, glitches, you can call them. But quite frankly, things are done on purpose to interfere with our democracy, with our way of life. Like I said, we just, I don't know, not really celebrated Patriot Day. It's like not celebrating Memorial Day, but it's a remembrance of what happened unexpectedly. How many people died. Memorial Day, it's all about the veterans that died and passed away for our freedoms. And I've known quite a few of them. And as time goes by, 9/11, I actually knew one guy who worked at the United Nations who died in that tragedy. And a lot of know people too. And we hear about the firemen, the policemen, all the first responders. And, year after year to go through a list of everyone that passed in different cities around the world. It's really scary. But when are we seriously going to say enough is enough? When are we seriously going to get up and say, no, that's enough already? I'm tired of this BS. I want to feel safe. I want my family to feel safe. And I don't want your products. I don't need your services. I don't even want your sympathy or your government handout. Come on. Let every American have a right to earn their own income the way they want to, provided it's legal and provided it's enough to pay their bills. Here in America, at least in California, the inflation has gone through the roof these last couple of years. The gas prices almost doubled. What clothing went up 20%, food's gone up 15%, whatever it is. It's getting out of hand, and more people are struggling and suffering. I don't know if that's the government's plan to have you asking for a handout or not. I don't know for sure, but the more the government feeds us, then they control us. And that's what communist countries do. They just give you just enough to get by, but they own everything. We have to fight for those rights that we fought for. It's sad. It looks like we're going to continuously fight for forever and ever. It's like being a Christian. You have to fight sin. You have to fight what society says. Okay, you have to fight those who are trying to rewrite the Bible or rewire our brains to think what is wrong is right now, and vice versa. We know good and bad. We know right and wrong, yet we choose to do the bad stuff or the wrong things. And we're all sinners. And I understand that. We're all sinners. But when we realize that what we're doing is a sin and we continuously do it, it can be condemnation. Now, I'm not condemning you. I've got my own issues I'm always battling, and everyone I know has some issues already battling, always battling. Give us some of your ideas. So what bothers you? What irks you? And to me, it's getting Chinese goods on the military installation. That irks me. It irks me where I can't be feel safe sending my grandchildren to school, not just by the shootings or the violence that happen outside, but what they're being indoctrinated inside. Those things irk me. People disrespecting the military or cops or any first responders, that irks me. Our credibility as a nation being, I don't know, not respected and maybe even dishonored in other nations, that kind of bothers me also. And the list can go on and on. Not using your headlights at night or when it's raining bothers me, or not putting your shopping cart away, that bothers me also. And we all have things like that. Pick your battles. Make sure it makes sense. And show your vision. Share your ideas with others. We don't have to tiptoe around anyone. It's kind of stupid. I understand we have ailing parents or friends and family members, and some may be just stuck in their ways. I remember my grandmother, and everyone would say to aunts and uncles, don't talk religion, or what was it, religion and sex around your parents, or politics, religion and politics around your grandparents. And so we just did. It was a no-no. But what happens if grandma says, are you think, actually, this is a true story. It wasn't my grandma, it's somebody else. And she says, do you think Donald Trump's going to get back in the office? She's totally anti-Trump or just anti-Republican altogether. And all I can say is, I sure hope so. And that was it. I let it go. I don't need to get in a heated debate. I don't need to have a discussion with this person much older than me. I didn't want to cause any of this riffraff back and forth. It didn't matter. But I gave my opinion. She gave her opinion. That was it. And the rest of the day went just fine. But people around us heard it like, oh, I don't believe you said that. Said, why not? I'm not causing an issue or a problem or want to start a fight. If it turned into a fight, we just walked away anyways. But why can't we just have our opinions and be okay with that? We should be able to. We're not just, most of us are not just Americans, but we're humans. And God gave us our own sense of free will. And that's why we get into trouble because we often think we know bigger and better than the good Lord Himself up above. Anyways, I'm so proud to have done my time in the military, serving in the Air Force, and all my siblings, my brothers have served in different services, and my children have other relatives, and we're all fighting the good fight. But sometimes we forget, or we don't truly know what the good fight is, because we know here, deep down inside, what we're fighting for. But we're often steered in directions that we don't want to be. We can see that Russia and Ukraine right now. The last couple of months, a lot of the Russians just don't want to fight no more, and even they're telling Putin that's enough already. This is BS. Why are we fighting them? We need to figure out, like I said, life's a gamble. And what are we gambling for? What are we going to win? What are the stakes? Anyways, those are my thoughts today. And think about Patriot Day of September 11th and all the Memorial and Veterans Days in the future. And anytime we can remember someone who fought the good fight, and we need to continue, we fight for them. Anyways, please subscribe to our Venmo channel, our social media shows network, YouTube channel. Subscribe to josephscoda.com, and let us know some of your thoughts, some of your ideas, what you're fighting for. I salute you. Have yourself a great, super wonderful life. Bye. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day. Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause, because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Welcome to Social Media Shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only